attach actions to the the frame, the movie clip, and there's another element in Flash which is basically the button. So you can create a button. I just show you quickly. What you can do is say I create a new layer, and okay, you can name the layers. I can name it say ball, and top layer is action. Okay, and I just double click and say okay, here I'll put a button, right? So I'll put button, fine. And it's very easy to create a button here. You drag one shape, whatever shape you want. If you want a round corner thing, there's a corner radius option here. I say a 5 pixel radius along all the sides. You can create different shapes actually. Those things are like how to use Flash. But quickly, if you can delink this and say 5 here and say 20 here, you can create a good shape out of it. A shape like this you can create. So now the thing is, when you create a shape, by default there will be a fill color and there will be a stroke color. Okay, the stroke color is, I think, very close to black or grey actually. It's not visible. I'll make it say white. Okay, so you can see the stroke here, and you can select the stroke independently and the shape independently. And when you want both of them to be selected in one go, you can double click on the shape. Both of them will be selected. Now there are various options available in the tools panel. You can create the stroke, thickness of the stroke, you can maintain it here, you can do such things. By default is 1. Okay, so this is pretty much it. And since Flash is a vector software, vector-based software, so no matter how much you zoom in, the corners will never get. So that is one big point here, because if you use raster-based or bitmap software like Photoshop, I would say, if you have an image and zoom in, it will just go blur and you can see pixels on it. But here it is not there. Okay, I was showing you how to create a button. So just double click this, press F8, or you can go to this modify and then this option you can go. F8 shortcut, you get this panel and say I want to style to be a button, and you say button. There's a concept of registration point. For animations, there will be axis of every object, right? At which it will rotate or maybe animate. So that is the registration point. You can put that while creating it, or you can change it later also. So here I will say symbol 1, or I will say interactive button as my button and say enter. So this object becomes a button, and if you go to the library now, there is a ink button here. So now you can drag different instances of the same thing and do the same thing. So you have 3 buttons essentially here. You can attach 3 different kind of code into these 3 buttons, but you created this one. The other best part is you just go inside one and say, okay, I want a small stroke here. So strokes do show up in all of them. See, strokes are there in all of them. That is like, it's a class level change made in the button class in these terms, and all the instances get refreshed. So that is one. Okay, the button is created. Okay, the timeline of the button is bit different from the timeline of a movie clip or the main timeline. Why it is so? Because the buttons have state, right? So you have 4 states here. One is the over, down, hit. Okay, so there is the up state. If you come here and extend the timeline here, I'm not showing you all those, how to extend the timeline and everything. You can get that into the help file. In fact, I would suggest you, Flash help is a very exhaustive help. You can find everything there. If you want, if you're a designer or a developer, everything you can find. And what you have to just do, press F1. Or, you can just press CTS, and there is a lot of categories, in fact, help itself. So you can go to specifically, support centers, online forums and training and everything. Everything is in the IT itself. So if you click this, if you have a connected PC, you can go to all these forums, get whatever tutorials you want to, get and learn from there. So it's very exhaustive. And that is native help. Till the last version it was native here, but for the purpose of updating and all, it has been put now online so that any changes made to the help can be reflected on your thing also. So when you click this, we actually go to the Flash help and it opens up the browser, in fact. So you can, there's a three-way thing, and whatever information you want, the search available there, everything you can do there. So okay, that was it. I just remove this button from there because here we don't want any button, right? Okay, so I'll delete this layer type. Okay, this is the health, this is the opening. Let's show you. Let it open. Okay, fine. So if you can see, for every this thing, you have a view from PDF also. You can download it locally if you want, or else there's a tree-based architecture. You can go to resources and what kind of importing artwork and everything. As I said, it's designer, developer, and everyone who can use Flash or would Flash, they are taking into consideration. Okay, they are taking into consideration. So this is pretty much the help. You can check it. Okay, so I'll edit this here from here using this button. And what I'll do is I'll click on the movie clip here and I'll press F9. F9 is for getting the actions panel. Okay, to write the actions panel, or you can just click here. You can do that. Right. So here I have a piece of code. What I'll do is I'll explain this step by step. So this is AS2. This is plain and simple AS2 and very primitive AS2, I would say. There are no classes and there's nothing here. It's very simple. You go into your Flash file ID, you start coding. You don't have to maintain any class and all those things. Those are possible, but here we are not doing that. Okay. I'll just So here, if at this stage you can refer to a movie clip by its name. So if I had given an instance name of ball underscore MC to my ball, I could have said ball underscore MC dot something something and something something. I could have got all the events, modification events in the frame. But here I would do within the movie clip. Why I am doing so is I want all the balls to perform the same way. So if I keep it here, what will happen is whenever I copy and paste the same ball, everyone will perform the same way. There will be multiple balls going around here and there in the stage. But if you had written it in frame, you should have used the instance name dot this and do this and instance. So that is again you have to do a trade-off between what to use and what not to use and when to use. Right? So okay, so when you put code inside a clip, okay, it is referred to as a on-clip event. It's inside the clip. It's like onload or something you have in other languages also. So here everything is on-clip event, starts with it, and within the bracket you supply the event. So here I am saying on load, right? It's a load event there. On-clip event, load. I just declared two variables, right? Here again I use this math class. Flash is a good math class which can do a lot of calculations there. So here I am trying to, since I want a random animation, so I create two variables, one for the X movement and Y movement, and I'll use both of them for it to move diagonally also. So that is the objective. And then I'll say it should be between 1 to or 0 to 5. So I'll set math.random multiplied by 5. Okay. So I would say in real terms, this is the speed, okay, of the ball, which will be controlled by these two variables. Now if I go down, the first event, which again, this event at least you will not find in any other development language, that is the on-event-frame event. This is specifically for animations. This event is triggered when the timeline hits each and every frame. Right? So if you had a 50-frame animation movie with a tree, when the timeline moves, you actually see the animation. Here, this event is triggered in every move. So physically the timeline does not have to move. It can be a one-frame movie, but it can calculate depending on the FPS of the file. I will tell you what the FPS is. FPS is basically frames per second, and this movie also has a FPS. If you click on the page and go to the properties panel, you can see this FPS. Right now it's a 24 frames per second movie. You can change it according to your need. So what you need to do is click on it, type the number and that's it. Fine? So yeah, what happens is, since it is a 24 frames FPS movie, so if you use the on-enter frame, this event will be triggered 24 times in a second. Now, within this event, you are open to do anything. So whatever you do in that event will be called 24 times in a second. So it's like, if you want to move a ball, you can say plus equal to of the x-axis and say 5. And every frame it will move 5 pixels. And you will get